Good evening. It's Farmer Ben here once again, Nosworth. Remember to like, subscribe, and all those kind of things to these videos. For I am here once again to give you some advice and guidance and etc. etc. On this final stage, stage 24 of the advanced Santa's Challenge. So this is the very final change. You can see I'm fighting for a 4-star red trainer hero, an avatar, which I must admit I already have because I completed this last year, and 3 rings. The rings. Oh, my precious, my precious. At the end of this event, I'll be able to tell my children not only that Santa does not exist, but I will also be able to tell him that I killed him. Which is bizarre, really, but there you go. So the main trouble, in some ways, the main trouble with this mission for me is that the bosses are red and green, and the mobs, hence these mobs I'm fighting here, are all blue, which is really annoying because you can't really color stack against blue, red, and green. So you kind of get into well, what's the best color take? Well, maybe it's purple, maybe I don't know. So anyway, so I've gone for 2 purple, 1 red. Oh, no, hang on, I went for 2 reds. Where did the red go? Ooh, I went for 2 reds and I've only actually taken 1. So this is probably not going to work out. There we go. Never mind. I did go for 2 reds, but one of my reds has vanished. The hardest thing about Santa's Challenge is to color stack. Yeah, like I say, the color stacking is really tough here because you cannot color stack against the mobs and the boss. And really, what I actually intended to do was I thought that I'd swapped Demisha for what's her name? Elena. Yeah, Elena. And that was going to be my strategy. But there we go. Apparently it's not now. I now need to come up with a new strategy very, very fast. Okay, so let's not let's not dwell on that for a second. So my main aim will be killing Mother North when I get through to the final round, assuming I do get through to the final round, which I would hope to. The mobs are not horrific. They are very strong, to be fair. They do a lot of damage, and you can't be too complacent with the mobs on this particular sort of level of rarity. This level of Santa's Challenge, the mobs do get a little bit mean. They're not that kind. I mean, this snowman's really angry. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has ever seen the snowman, but they're not that angry. They're kind of they're more chilled than this. But these guys are fuming. I mean, look at him. Grr, grr, arg. I'm so cross. I am a snowman. Um, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. How would you deal with an attack by an angry snowman? God, that's a joke. I'm sure. I'm sure that's a joke I've read in a cracker, but I cannot think of the answer. Anyway, um, so sorry, I'm getting totally sidetracked. Yeah. Anyway, so this is wave 1. I mean, basically, I can throw everything at it. It doesn't really matter. Proteus, who I've got with me, is he's a delightful hero. One of my favourites. Hell is a good alternative to him, but he's just a good all rounder. He's just great, especially on the bosses. He's not amazing against the mobs. It's not making a massive difference against the mobs. Him being there, he's not my strongest purple. Demisha's my strongest purple. He's not my second or third, possibly not even my fourth strongest purple. But he is incredibly useful against bosses because of his special skill. And he's one of those heroes who I really should get round to adding some talent emblems into him because I use him an awful lot. But he's also a wizard, and I have a feeling there are a lot of wizards that I've spent a lot of time sort of generally leveling up. Anyway, so here we go. Santa isn't real, kids. Well, actually, he was real, but I killed him. Yeah, no, that's brutal, isn't it? That's brutal. I mean, prior to playing this game, I could never have imagined myself saying Santa's a really good tank. Just not one of those things you could ever imagine yourself saying. Yeah, Santa's a good tank. Yeah, he's an awesome tank. He really holds the team together. But there you go. Yeah, now I find myself saying it, and I am, like I say, as I'm obviously saying and not even implying, I view Santa as a pretty good tank. I think he's a very good hero. I think he's underrated, and the only reason I think, in fairness, he's underrated is because Mother North is so far and above one of the best heroes in the game. And most people who I speak to when they talk about it, they say, "Oh yeah, who's got Mother North from summons and whatnot." And Mother North is brilliant. I mean, she's better than Alberich, and both of them are just really good heroes to have in terms of bringing your friends, your allies back from the dead. Um, which is, again, it's not something you associate with Santa, but there you go. It's all a little bit odd, but never mind. Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who and dwell on things which we don't need to dwell on. Let's focus on defeating where we are now. Anyway, him. So Vivica at this point is basically keeping everybody else alive. That's her main role. She has to be kept alive because unfortunately I have no healing potions, and if she dies, it's literally a matter of time before I will lose, unless I'm incredibly close to winning anyway. Which is not impossible. Maybe, who knows? So at this point, you'll see that I'm down to my last snowman. Now this is the last wave before the bosses, so I'm not in a massive hurry to kill this snowman. I would much rather get as many special skills charged as I can. I want Vivica to go off again. Really, I don't. I know this snowman's going to do a little bit of damage, but I am going to hope that he doesn't manage to kill any of my heroes. Oh, nice screen reset there. Let's get Vivica ready again. Yeah, you can see Asanio is in a lot of trouble there. If Asanio died there, that would have been like so infuriating. To die facing the snowman before the boss. Right, okay. Let's see. That's gonna help. That's gonna help. So, as I say, really, I'm not even actually looking at the snowman now because he is the last mob. He will not do that much damage to me in the last few moves, and I really want Vivica to be a lot, not Vivica, Asania, sorry, to be a lot healthier than that before I move forward. There's no point in hurrying at this point. If I hurry, well, yeah, I'll save myself a little bit of time. I'll be able to go and get some crisps, maybe some chips. I might be able to sort a few things out. But basically, I will be no better off hurrying than just taking it steady. So use the last wave before the bosses as a really good chance to just get everything ready. Clear the screen. I mean, normally I'd say try and make sure you've got like loads of combos and manners lined up and what have you. I find it really quite tricky on these Santa stages because it's what I find is that the ice cubes stop you getting any really big combos flowing. If they're, sometimes you'll get a combo where you wouldn't normally get one because you've got like 3 ice blocks in a row. But generally speaking, I find that is the sort of the big downside of the Santa missions is the ice blocks just stop you getting a combo. I find it tends to be they're very slow screens. You don't get the kind of big moves that really help you generate high scores very quickly, which is what you want in challenge events. Not that there's a scoring system for this, scoring doesn't matter on these ones. Oh, dearie me. Right, anyway, let me stop waffling and actually get on with killing this guy, because this is probably at the point where now I may as well just kill him off quickly. There we go. Right, he's dead. Right, he's dead. Now, immediately I'll go on to the bosses. Now, Mother North is, as I say, my target. You may think, if Mother North is your target, why are you throwing stuff at Santa? Well, I'm targeting Santa for the first 2 because he's in the middle, which is because Proteus only hits 1. So I may as well make sure I hit the one I want to hit. Mother North is now being hit by a veritable barrage of tiles. Barrage. I love the word barrage. Lots of tiles going in. Reasonable amount of damage being done because I am mildly, I should say, color stacked on purple. You can see there that they are all suddenly awake again. because Proteus's thing has worn off. Oh, that was a mistake. I meant to hit that on Santa. I've hit it on Mother North. Proteus has gone off again, which means that they are no longer, once again, they are not generating mana. The last thing I want them to do really is to keep generating mana. Generating mana is bad. I would much rather that they don't do it, because if they are generating mana, it is bad news for me. Mother North, as you can see, is reasonably damaged, but not as damaged as I would like. So I'm going to use Isania here to add in a little bit of beef. I am going to freeze them again with Proteus. Now, Proteus is brilliant. I mean, he stops their mana generation, which is why he is so good. I can see, though, that my heroes, again, they're a little bit damaged and a little bit battered. Now, you'll see I've used quite a lot of my mana potions here, so I'm going to chuck in a bomb. Now, the purpose of the bomb at this point is to weaken them and stop them doing quite so much damage to my heroes. At some point, I may want to consider a bomb as like doing loads of damage and weakening them and making sure they don't keep coming back and getting stronger and hurting me. But really, at this point, it was just about weakening them, slowing them down. Like I say, still targeting Mother North at the moment. This is where I'm complaining about, like, the screen just basically goes awful screen, and it's very, very slow because of the ice. But the ice blocks stop it being a quick screen. Not that I'm saying that this would be particularly a quick screen anyway, but it's just so much worse. Now I'm going to use Vivica here. Now Vivica is good because she removes the status ailments, but in fairness, if you have him, Kirill would do exactly the same. And he obviously is a 4-star. Get rid of those things. Right, I'm going to finish off Mother North because she's very close to dying anyway, which is good. Now, at least now they cannot heal, because healing is very, very annoying. Some point soon, I'm going to want to start using the time stops, I think, because the last thing I want is these guys to stay alive. I'm going to hope this move doesn't give Santa enough mana to actually do anything. No, I think it will. Dagenamit. So Santa's gone off with his ultimate gift sack, which is really annoying. Immediately he does that, the first thing I'm going to do is use my antidote. Now, my antidotes, you'll notice I've taken a few. They're almost like my last reserve, but I've got them with me because it's always handy to have them on ultra tough bosses. The only reason I don't take them when I am doing like challenge events is because it's all or nothing. On this kind of mission, I would thoroughly recommend taking antidotes. I've taken, what do you call them? High-end antidote. Ooh, he's dead. Proteus is dead. I've taken the high-end antidotes, but realistically, whichever antidotes you take, you just want antidotes. Antidotes will get rid of all of those horrible things that the bosses do to you. I'm gonna just throw in a time stop there. Now, time stops are one of my favorite things because if you time stop them, at least they are not hitting you and killing you, and it gives you a chance to sort of get on with things. I'm gonna check in another time stop here. Basically now I'm trying to get a few sort of moves together. I would like Santa to be dead. Like I say, this is awful, isn't it? Oh, an awful thing to say. I'd like Santa to be dead. I feel like such a monster. But I do want Santa to be dead so that I can then focus on Dobby. He will be my last hit. Here we go now. The power is running low on my part and theirs. I'm going to go for Santa with Domitia. Hopefully Domitia will finish him off. There we go. So Domitia's just killed Santa. You monster. You monster. You killed him. The children loved him. She has... There we go. Oh dear. So Santa is dead now. It's just my heroes versus Dobby. Now Dobby is I keep calling him Dobby. He's not even Dobby. He's Buddy. Dobby, Buddy, whoever he is. He's still not an unreasonable threat. But by carefully killing off the two more dangerous heroes, he is now generally speaking manageable. You'll see he's going to go off. His attack power is reduced because of my what was it? My bombs knocked his attack power down, which is helpful. You can do it with bombs, dragons, and axes. Sorry, bombs and axes will reduce attack power. When you've got arrow attacks, reduce the chances of hitting. So they're all useful. They're all battle items are useful. And one thing I would urge you to do is get your battle items in on these kind of missions. This is the kind of mission which your battle items are saved for, really. Don't hang on to them for a rainy day. This is your rainy day. Chuck them in, get the battle items out there on the field, and finish things off. Now I'm very confident now that I can finish this off. It won't have been well. I mean, it's not been massively expensive, but it's not hugely cheap either. It's got to be 5 bombs, 10 minor mana potions, one super antidote, and 2 time stops. It's not impossible. It may cost me another time stop before it's done. As I say, I just hate the way with the ice blocks. It's just they're just very slow screens. You spend a lot of time slowly working your way through, which is very annoying because every time you don't really get big combos, because every time you think you're going to get one, you get a block of ice gets in the way and stops you getting the big things together. Anyway, never mind. Let's not dwell on that. Oh, there we are. And Dobby, what's his name? He's dead anyway. So that's it. So Domitia, the Santa killer, can sit there and smile with her slightly smirky grin. And for that, I get my Mystic Rings, my new profile avatar, and my 4-star trainer hero. And I can say that I've completed the Santa event. Like I say, the battle items really are the key. The other battle items I tend to recommend are things like dragon attacks are really, really good. I haven't got any at the moment because I haven't built any since the last challenge event. Dragon attacks are really good. Some of the Titan things are really good. I reckon you could probably have some fun with some of the what do we call it? Like things like the titanium shield and stuff. Let them kill themselves and what have you. So there's a few various options to do. But my recommendation, as I say, would be to take plenty of battle items because the bosses are ultra tough. So in a nutshell, take at least 1 healer, possibly 2, but I would say 1 would be the key. A few. Because they actually do need to deep. No, you don't need to debuff. Gobbler would be quite good. Somebody who removes those little minions that they throw out. Plenty of antidotes. I mean, I took my major antidotes, but whichever antidote you take, any of them can do the job. Yes, I think really those are the key things you need to remember. Oh, here we go. I've got a thing. Wow, Santa, they passed all the obstacles. Thank you, Dobby. Splendid work, splendid. I thought Domitia killed him. Surely there should be a picture here now of Domitia standing over his rotting corpse, laughing with her crossbow. Anyway, never mind. But now we have to get back to work, buddy. We must start preparing for next year's challenge. Oh boy, awesome! Oh boy, awesome! So they're very excited. Well, they don't really need to prepare for next year's challenge because it will be the same as this year's challenge was anything to go by against compared to last year's. Anyway, never mind. Who knows? Maybe I'm going around in circles. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so it remains me to say I hope there were some helpful tips in that video amongst all the rambling diatribe which I tend to throw into all my videos. Some people like it. Some people I know don't. And to be fair, most of the people who don't like it have already unsubscribed. So, well, they've made their choice. Anyway, so it remains some helpful tips in here. May death come swiftly to your enemies. Remember to like and subscribe, and I shall see you again soon. Take care. Au revoir. Bye.